It's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop, and I know I titled this Bento cake, but technically bento cakes are really tiny cakes that are supposed to be cheaper, smaller, and really simple and easy to make. And I generally think that they're made with buttercream or some other type of creamy frosting, but I'm taking it a little step further. Now this is a small cake, but it is covered in a lot of fondant detail, and I think this cake actually took me around an hour to make as opposed to the quick 10 to 15 minutes it should take to decorate one of these. So I crumb coated the cake and I put it in the fridge overnight so it would be super solid. Now I'm covering the cake in my favorite brand of black fondant, which is by Satin Ice. I am not sponsored by them nor affiliated with them. I really truly just love the texture of their black fondant. I find it easy to work with and it doesn't dry out. If you're wondering what all of that white stuff is, it is cornstarch to prevent sticking. Here I'm creating a little bit of textured fondant. I didn't want this to be covered completely smoothly. Now, in order to give it a nice finish and to make things stick really easily to it, I'm just taking a clothing steamer and steaming this cake. Don't worry, your cake won't melt. When I first started out, getting a clean board was really difficult for me. Steaming the board actually helps significantly when you're making fondant cakes, and you just take a dry piece of paper towel and wipe off all of that excess that you don't want on there. Now I'm going to create those spider webs, and I really want a punchy pink spider web. So all you do is you heat up your marshmallows for a few seconds, and then you take it, and I find using chopsticks is the easiest way as opposed to my fingers, and you quickly put all of these strands on top of your cake or wherever you want the spider webs. I want this cake to have a little bit of a haunting feel while still being very glam. So I'm not using my normal cutter for this rose. I'm just using a piece of fondant that's kind of rolled out thinly, and then using my balling tool to create the petals, and then I'm going to roll it up. This rose will literally take you 1 minute or less to create. Also, if you don't have a foam mat to create those petals, don't worry. I used to do this on the palm of my hand all the time, and I would just make sure to generously coat my hand with a little bit of cornstarch to prevent sticking. When you steam your cake, I find it really easy to attach things like roses. Because roses have a little bit more weight to them than say like a polka dot or another 2D type of fondant detailing, it makes it a lot easier when you have the steam as opposed to just a little bit of water or using additional frosting. Now we're moving on to making that super glamorous pink spider. The key to making this spider look extra creepy is getting the legs right. The thinner you get these legs, the better this is going to look. You can either place the legs directly onto the cake like I am going to in a minute here, or you can put it on a foam mat like this first, and then you can attach your body afterwards, wait for that to dry a little bit more, and then attach it to your cake. I'm in a little bit of a hurry, and I don't want this to take too long, so I'm gonna put the legs on right away, and then I'm gonna put the body on top. The placement of your spider will also add a lot of character to your cake. I wanted it kind of crawling up the side, so I put it right there. Now I'm going to be attaching the body, and the body is really just a ball of fondant with a little bit of a tapered bottom. And then I'm going to put the head on as well. Make sure that the head is not too large. I find if you have a really large head on the spider, it ends up looking very cartoonish, whereas I just want to give it a little bit of a glam vibe, so I'm going to make the head a slight bit smaller. I thought the straight black and pink looked very striking, but I love a glam moment, so I'm going ahead and adding on all of these beautiful silver sprinkles. So this cake is definitely small enough to fit in a little lunchbox, which is the whole point of a bento cake. But it wasn't simple by any means, but it was super fun to make. Now, much like my mini wedding cake yesterday, this cake is also a little bit difficult to price. So if I were doing this as a custom order, it would be a little bit more expensive. If I was doing this as a stock order, you'll notice it's actually significantly cheaper. And that's because I just think it's a hard sell to ask people to spend $20 on something so little. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys.